Imagine your immune system trying to attack an invader, but the invader looks so much like your own tissue that your immune system attacks you too. This is a real phenomenon. It can be triggered by foods you eat every day, and for some people it may be a hidden engine of inflammation and pain. It's called molecular mimicry. It is a case of mistaken identity at the molecular level. Let me explain why this matters for your chronic pain. Welcome to our Masterclass series. I'm Dr. Gurpreet Padda. Today we're going deep into the immune system's shadow consequences. This episode explores a more advanced immune mechanism, one that can keep a person inflamed and in pain, no matter how well they seem to be doing everything else. It's the idea that certain foods can provoke the immune system to attack the body's own tissues through a case of mistaken identity. Here's the concept. Your immune system identifies threats by recognizing the specific shapes of proteins, known as epitopes. Molecular mimicry happens when a protein from a food has a structure similar enough to one of your own tissue proteins that your immune system confuses them. When the immune system mounts a response against that dietary protein, the antibodies it generates can cross-react with your own similar-looking tissue. In effect, friendly fire. The classic, well-established example is in celiac disease, where the immune response to gluten is tied to direct tissue damage. But the broader principle of mimicry extends far beyond just gluten. It can involve many other proteins and various tissues in the body. Now picture the practical reality. If you're unknowingly eating a food that triggers this kind of cross-reactive response, and you're eating it every single day, then you're provoking repeated immune flares around the clock. Your immune system never gets to stand down. It stays on high alert. Remember the through line of this entire series. Chronic immune activation means chronic inflammation. This is the biological soil we must fix. Chronic inflammation sensitizes your nervous system and lowers your pain threshold. It turns up the volume on every signal. So a daily food, completely invisible as a culprit, could be keeping your immune system and your pain perpetually lit up. This is a shadow consequence. Here's why this matters so much for recovery. If a food is driving this response, it acts as a hidden anchor, preventing metabolic stability. You can fix the sugar, balance the fats, and restore the nutrients, and still be held back by one unidentified trigger food quietly provoking you. It becomes the loose thread that unravels the whole sweater. Identifying and removing it is the step that lets all other work take hold. We have to fix the terrain. We must stop the glymphatic clearance from being blocked by these constant inflammatory surges. Let me be precise here. Molecular mimicry is a well-established immunological mechanism, but it varies enormously from person to person. The role of food-driven immune cross-reactivity is an area of active investigation. The responsible approach must be individualized. We must systematically identify whether specific foods are provoking a response in you, rather than assuming a one-size-fits-all villain. If you've sensed that certain foods affect how you feel, but you've been told that's unlikely, I want to validate your observation right now. People are remarkably good at noticing patterns in their own bodies. There is a scientifically grounded pathway explaining what you feel. You weren't being fanciful. You were onto something your body was trying to tell you all along. Pain is a signal, not a diagnosis. So here's our approach. We treat your immune and dietary picture as individual. We perform a nerve block audit on your metabolic health. We work systematically to identify your specific triggers through careful, structured assessment and strategic elimination and reintroduction. When a trigger is found and removed, the flares stop. Suddenly, all the other metabolic work we've done can finally gain traction. It's detective work, the kind that requires actually listening to your body and your history, which is exactly how we practice here. Sometimes the anchor holding you in pain is sitting on your plate and no one thought to look. It's time to stop the friendly fire. If your inflammation won't quit despite doing everything right, let's investigate. Let's find your path to metabolic sovereignty. Go to painem.tv and take the first step. I'm Dr. Padda. Your body has been talking and we know how to listen. Fix the terrain. Stay curious, stay sovereign.